Welcome to my 2025 studio tour. I'm Mike Russell from Music Radio Creative, and I've got, I can't believe I'm saying this, 30 years in audio production. First up, let's talk about the total game changer and the thing that I got sent at the end of 2024 that has changed my whole video workflow. It is the Rodecaster DUO. What an amazing piece of kit. And it's replaced a whole bunch of production workflows that I used to have in my studio. So why is the Rodecaster DUO a really big upgrade? Well, before this, I was using Elgato Cam Links, OBS Studio to record like a 4K screen split into 4 different 1080p feeds, and then I was pulling that into Premiere and using a bunch of templates, and I ran into drive space issues on my small drive on my Mac Studio, so things would freeze, but no more. Now the Rodecaster DUO takes care of everything, and it's external to my computer. So no matter if my computer crashes or freezes, I have a recording on my Rodecaster DUO. How does that work? Well, it's live to drive. This device allows me to record to an external drive. So I've never got any risks of a full computer hard disk. It's really, really cool. For that, I'm using a SanDisk Pro drive, and of course, I'll link this and all the gear I talk about down below if you want to get exactly the same external drive I've got. It's 2 terabytes, it's really big, and actually the Rodecaster DUO display tells me I can record just over 48 hours on that drive. So a little while before I'll need to scrub things. Now, the coolest thing is I can actually switch scenes on my Rodecaster DUO directly, and I can record live to drive. So I can share my screen with you here. This is the Rode Central app that we'll look at in a moment. And I can do a screen share with me over in one side of the corner of the video, and also in the other side if I've got something that I need to show you. So I can quickly switch everything around really easily inside the Rodecaster DUO without the need for software or anything else. It's really, really cool. Now, not only does it allow me to do that in real time, live to drive, but I can cut down hours inside Premiere Pro later because it splits out all my video and audio tracks. So this camera, also this camera, and my screen share, it's all recorded in split stems, so I have the maximum options when I get into post-editing. Now, the coolest thing is, on the back, I can plug in multiple cameras via HDMI, in fact, 4 in total. So I've got camera 1 plugged into input 1. I've got my Mac screen share on input 2. Now, you need to plug it in via an HDMI, so essentially I mirror my main display to HDMI input 2 on the Rodecaster DUO, and that means I can quickly go to my screen should I need to. I can also throw in other stuff like a Logitech Brio and a secondary camera as well all along the way. It's really incredible. I'm using these high-quality Rode HDMI 3 cables, and what's more, they're nice and colorful, so I can plug everything in and have it look beautiful on my desk. Also, USB connections to the Rodecaster DUO. I'm using these wonderful SC27 connectors from Rode. They have 5 gigabytes per second and also carry 60 watts of power should I need. I've also got the other USB-C cable connected straight to my external drive, that SanDisk drive. And what's more with this, I can hot plug it so I can swap over. So I'm recording everything live to drive, but when I finish, I can replug it into my Mac Studio and immediately edit from the SanDisk drive. And because the read-write is so fast on this device, no need to transfer or wait for large video files to drop. I can edit straight away, which has really sped up my workflow. And then I've got another one of these cables, the SC27 cables, running out of USB-C 4 on my Rodecaster DUO, straight into output 2 via USB-C on the Rodecaster DUO, which I'll talk about later, giving me maximum audio control for mixing, my levels on my microphone, and also levels coming from my computer when I'm playing music, and so on. It really helps to have the connectivity between Rodecaster DUO and Rodecaster DUO. As well as recording to drive, I love that you can stream directly from the Rodecaster DUO to places like YouTube. Plus, I can also control it remotely via Rode Central. Let's actually have a look at that now. Now, this is a picture-in-picture overlay that I set up in the Rode Central app. which is really, really cool. Now you'll see I've got Rodecaster DUO here, and also my Rodecaster video is coming in via the local network. I've connected it to Ethernet, so I don't need a USB-C cable to actually access all the settings of my Rodecaster video. And you'll see here it's got Scene Builder, so here it's got me as a picture in a picture, and you can see that I can choose different things like camera 1, and I can jiggle this around on the screen if I want. I can apply borders just as I've done so here, and you'll see I've got a second setup over here for when something is showing up down there and I need my webcam over here. Then I've got all the other scenes like this one, and this one as well, all ready to edit. But what's more, there's so much you can do. You can edit all of your audio. At the moment, you'll see all my audio is coming from the Rodecaster DUO on USB 4. I've also got device config, which allows me to choose multiple outputs, frame rates, and such things like that. Audio switching. Now, this is something I'm not presently using, but if I had multiple guests on a podcast and wanted to automatically switch cameras based on who's speaking, this auto switching will do that for me. And then you've got stream profiles to add your server keys, as I said, if you want to stream live to YouTube and other platforms. Now, it doesn't stop there because my HDMI output actually goes out of output A on the Rodecaster video into a Raspberry Pi monitor. Now, these were just released at the end of 2024, a 15.6 VESA mountable USB-C powered HDMI input monitor. It's so tiny and portable, it's just what I needed. It also has deep blacks and just looks really good. So the multi-screen output from my Rodecaster video goes direct to this monitor. When I switch it on, it fires up, and the moment I switch my Rodecaster video off, the monitor powers down. It's a great way to monitor everything I'm recording without needing an external app like OBS on my computer. Now, it's not all fun and joy with the Rodecaster video, and I wanted to let you know about a couple of minor drawbacks in case you're considering getting this for your own YouTube or video setup. First of all, when you switch it on using the power button on the back, the fans fire up really loud. But after that, they settle down. However, I have noticed they keep running at a very, very soft hum. Now, this won't bother most people. It's because I'm an audio guy and I notice these things. I like my studio to be whisper quiet. I do notice they're there a little bit. When the studio gets hot, they maybe ramp up for a second or two before going down, but nothing major. It really isn't a game changer for 99% of you out there. But as an audio person, I notice it. So I have the Rodecaster video on when I'm recording a YouTube video, but when I do work in my studio or audio work or voiceover work, I have it powered down completely because, well, A, I'm not using it, and B, that soft fan hum really annoys me. But I'm the 1%, remember. Also, the other thing I've noticed, the multi-cameras and multi-scenes on my external multi-program view can be a little bit laggy. Now, again, this isn't a game changer at all. It's just something I noticed, and maybe it can be improved in a future firmware update. But in short, it's leagues ahead of my old system. Yes, I don't need OBS. I hardly need to use Premiere Pro as much as I did. It saved me a lot of time in post-processing. The multi-camera feature, recording live to drive, live streaming from this kit. There are so many pluses. It's a 1080p device, which is fine for me, as that's the quality I put videos out in, and it's just saved me a lot of fuss. In particular, crashes, freezes, and problems like that. Now handling all my video production on a piece of hardware from VideoPro's RODE, it's just awesome. If you enjoy what you see so far, throw a like and remember to subscribe so you can see more videos just like this. Okay, you may have been waiting patiently for audio. So let's talk about my audio setup. I replaced my Mackie DLZ Creator with the tiny compact Rodecaster DUO. So why did I do it? I've been using the Mackie DLZ Creator for about 2 years now, quite happily. And well, it's beside the point that actually Rode and Mackie merged to become one company. What do I like about the Rodecaster DUO? First, I noticed the Mackie DLZ Creator was so big, and I was only using 1 or 2 faders on it. Also, I found the mix minus feature on the DLZ Creator over time to be a little bit more of a pain and a faff, whereas on the Rodecaster DUO, it has its own dedicated chat channel, which I can use in apps like Google Meet and Zoom, and it does mix minus seamlessly without me needing to think about it. Simpler design, and actually on the Rodecaster DUO, I prefer the faders a lot more. Plus, the processing and the presets for microphones are just brilliant. It simply works. It's all I need right now in my minimal 2025 studio. If you'd spoken to me maybe 10 or even 5 years ago, I might have had a big 19-inch rack behind me with DBX processors, power conditioners, and things like that. But now it sits inside this Rodecaster DUO, and I literally use 2 faders on it for content creation like you're watching now. And if I really want to play jingles, I've got some sound pads here where I can play jingles and music and other bits in my content. Now, here's the big one. As a voiceover artist and audio professional, you'll say, Mike, you've got a new mic in front of you. What mic is it? Why are you using it? And why don't you use your $3,000 microphone for YouTube videos? Well, I did switch quite recently, actually, to the Electro-Voice RE20. I did think about the Shure SM7B, but hey, this one just was my preference when I split tested them both side by side. So I used to have my Neumann condenser here, but I've noticed that the RE20 is more clean, focused, and really perfect for on-camera content. My old setup included the Neumann on a Rode PSA-1 boom arm, and it was taking up most of the screen. I know I could get a low-profile boom, but this now sits on my desk, and what's more, as I talk to you, it sits in front of me, and when I go to look at my screen, I'm also talking directly down the barrel of the mic without needing to have a big condenser in front of me. I also use the default RE20 preset on my Rodecaster DUO to set this up, but I just tweak the sibilance manually because this mic can naturally be quite bright and clear, and that can introduce a little bit of sibilance beyond what I'm comfortable with. I'm sitting it here in front of me, very low profile, on a RODE DS2 stand. So paired with this low profile stand, the mic stays out of the main frame with no big booms in shot. So it's perfect for talking to camera YouTube content and screen tutorials, which I do a lot of. So you may ask, what happened to my Neumann? Well, don't worry, it's still here. It's still there on the Rode PSA-1 boom arm, and I like to keep it for voiceover work. I run it through an Apollo Twin X audio interface with real-time plugins and effects. And by the way, if you're interested in my setup, specifically for voiceover, I'll do another video soon showing you my Apollo Twin X setup. This essentially works in tandem with my Neumann U87AI. It's got 3 premium plugins that I'm using, 0 latency monitoring, and it sends my audio direct from the Apollo Twin X into the line-in, one of the line-ins on my Rodecaster DUO. So I can do voiceovers at a snap by opening another fader and bringing the Neumann in front of me and recording into something like Adobe Audition. But like I say, future video coming up on my voiceover settings on this channel soon, so make sure you like and subscribe. Now, rounding off the audio section in this video, yes, my headphones. I'm monitoring on the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pro headphones. Super detailed. They're closed back for isolation and means I don't hear external sounds as I'm mixing and recording, and they're perfect for critical audio editing. As many of you will know, I did a brilliant tour of their facilities in Heilbronn, Germany. They manufacture to a very high standard, and these are the headphones I love. Even though Rode have sent me their headphones, I just cannot switch away from these. They're really, really cool. Oh, and you might also wonder how I know everything so easily and seem to flow perfectly. Well, I guess I've always been good at ad-libbing, but now I have an Elgato prompter in front of me. This is something I picked up in mid-2024, and I use it for scripts. So all of the scripts I type into the Camera Hub app, and I can actually show it to you on the screen now. Here is the Camera Hub app, and you'll see everything I'm telling you is here in my prompter. So essentially, I'm talking to you. I can see the script in front of me. It's an absolute lifesaver. I can up my content quality because I've got every point I want to cover in the video in front of me. And as I have a brain like a sieve, that really helps me. I've mounted it to the Rode PSA-1 Plus boom arm, and it sits on a Manfrotto Pixie tripod on top of my Mac Studio at the perfect level for me to do a talking head video to you. Oh, and another bonus, the Elgato prompter actually acts as another monitor. So not only can you have text on it, but you can also drag in Google Meet and Zoom, and you can have calls with people, and you can look directly at the person rather than sideways. It really helps with meetings too. Now let's talk about video recording, and I rely on my trusty Sony Alpha A6300 and A6400 cameras. I've used them for years and years, in fact maybe over a decade, and I pair them with different camera lenses. Now, first of all, for talking head, I'm using a Sigma 16mm lens, which of course I'll link the exact one up down below. I used to use the 30mm one, which I still have on hand. In fact, it's right here. And again, I'll link this exact camera lens down below. Again, it's a Sigma 30mm with great bokeh, great kind of like blurry background effect. But I'm using that now for B-roll, as I found it to be way too tight for a talking head. And now you probably like the fact I'm a little bit more distant when I do this video. It's definitely a plus for me. And when I do B-roll of products that you've seen throughout this video, I'm using a Manfrotto tripod. It's actually the 701 HDV, and I have literally had this one for over 10 years. It's great for product shots, capturing detail at the perfect angle, and the only thing that's changed over the years is I need to tighten up the nuts on the legs to stop them flopping out, but really it's been absolutely incredible for me. I've also got an Elgato Stream Deck. Now, I don't use this for OBS scenes anymore, but I can stop and pause my Elgato prompter script, which is really cool. It's a button right in front of me. It's my go-to for controlling lights, automations, and different scenes inside my studio, and even in the house, as I use Home Assistant. So Home Assistant is connected direct into my Stream Deck, and I can control pretty much anything that connects to the internet. And finally, the computer I'm using sits right in front of me here. Yes, it's a Mac Studio. It's just the M1 chip. It still handles everything like a champ, and I've found I haven't needed to upgrade yet. I can even run AI models locally on this Mac Studio M1 chip, and it just does a stellar job. Now remember, I've refined my setup over the years. I didn't start like this, and I'd say if you're just starting, choose gear that fits your workflow. Don't just follow the hype or the next big shiny thing. I tend to have shiny object syndrome. Just buy stuff that works. So if it's a pretty cheap USB microphone and a webcam to start making content, go and get that. You can always upgrade later. Focus on something that's reliable, has flexible recording options, and minimal friction as well in your recording process. And I always say, value simplicity over complexity. In fact, I found over the years I'd gone way too complex with my setup, and that's why I got rid of things like the Mackie DLZ Creator and my pretty crazy software-based recording for video. Now I do it all on hardware that sits in front of me and records to external drives. It's really, really cool. So what gear are you using or dreaming about using in 2025? Share in the comments, as I'm always curious to hear about new setups. Oh, and by the way, here's my YouTube block. Looks pretty cool. It just took me the duration of this video to make it. Now, this is my complete 2025 studio, from the Rodecaster video powerhouse to my RE20 mic for content creation. It's super efficient, and I absolutely love it. If you found value in this tour, do give me the thumbs up, subscribe for more audio tips, and of course, don't forget to ring the bell for future updates. And as I teased earlier on in the video, do stay tuned for a deep dive on my voiceover chain with the Apollo Twin X and the Neumann U87AI. That is coming soon. I'm Mike Russell. Thank you so much for watching. Here's to leveling up your audio and video in 2025. And YouTube is showing a video on your screen that you should watch next. Thanks.